So as the child and the older ones also start to recover and adjust, we place 2 nannies in their care the whole time that they are there.
I love that idea.
Oh, good. We have 2 teams of nannies. So Team A on Team 1, Nanny A on Team 1 would pass her children on to Team 2, Nanny A on that team. So they co-parent the whole time that they are there. So the children only connect to 2 women.
And that attachment, as we all know, is very good because the child can transfer attachment if they've learned to attach.
Yes.
It's when they are passed around and they don't ever feel any that connection to a human being, then that's a thing that they haven't learned at an early age.
You're absolutely right.
That's very wise of you to do that.
It's been working really well because the nannies also then bond with those children, so they get to invest and pray and not only invest emotionally but also spiritually. These are Christian women that are discipled in the orphanages, and they get to care for these children as their own, and they get to love them. It's emotional when those children leave.
I know it is.
It's like,
I know when I go over there to visit them and I kind of say, can I hold the baby? And they're, okay.
Yes.
You can tell that's their child.
Oh yeah, yeah, very much so. I was surprised at that because at first they would feed the infants over there with a bottle,
and now they're just
they are now. Oh, you cannot get close enough. Yeah, that's a wonderful transition. So during the time that they are there, a typical day would be get up early morning, because in that environment we have the outside noise of the Orthodox Church chanting.
It's loud.
For anything from 4 o'clock on in the mornings.
I always say God will listen at 6 o'clock. Why? What's this 4 o'clock thing?
And at the top of your lungs.
From a loudspeaker.
Oh, it's so hard. I feel so bad. I hear, at our house, I hear and I think, oh Lord, just make the babies deaf to the sound. Just make them deaf so they can sleep.
So when parents come and they bring them home and they put them in an isolated room, don't have to do that,
no,
right?
No. You can be noisy, it's okay. And if that happens in all 3 orphanages, Shashamene is a little bit more quiet, but the other 2 very noisy environments. So so they wake up and they get their baths and they are changed and the bed linen gets changed and then the big wash starts for the cleaners. And in the rainy season, that's very difficult to get that because it's hand washing and it is sun dry and folding. It's a whole day process.
Our dream is to get to the point to have actual commercial washers and dryers, isn't it?
Yes, we would love to just have the electricity to be able to do that. That would be wonderful. So after they are cleaned and physically taken care of, then the nannies the cooks are preparing breakfast for that in between. So then they sit down to breakfast, and the nannies feed all the infants, and they are on it. Every child goes on a feeding schedule when they come in, so that we can see how much they can handle, how much they really need. When a child has been malnourished, there is an emotional fear and a physical fear of the body that's saying, I'm starving, I'm starving. So you have to really time them and make them used to the idea there will be a meal, there will be another food feeding coming. And that takes a while. That takes about 2 months.
It's a very basic fear of that hunger.
Yeah.
And if they're stressed, it's hard for them to really develop and to get healthy if they're stressed.
Yes, the flip side of that is that they do not want to eat. They are not hungry because they are used to not being hungry. That is not a luxury they can afford. So to teach them to feed is the other side of it. So that's a consistency that we stay very much strongly on target, and the nurse and the sister overlooks that. So on every nanny team we now have a nurse that actually key us into we need to come and look, we need to come and check, here's a highlight, a red flag, so we cross-check all the time with each other.
It is kind of fun, though, because I visit a lot of the children here after they come home, and several of them are a little chunky, which is a good thing for babies. It's really hard for the parents to visualize that these children were just malnourished little things when they came in. You're doing a good job there. Very good job.
I am so glad, because there's very few there's very few things. You cannot cuddle a bony baby.
Right.
They have to have, you know. And I know many families also medically compare Ethiopian infants to the American growth chart, to the American development chart. Please don't do that.
It's just, it takes time.
It doesn't compare. And you know, coming in for a child to reach America under the normal percentile, it's hard for a US family. I understand that. But that child is alive.
Alive and will thrive, and
Yes.
a lot of these children are probably premature, and it takes a child anywhere that's premature time to catch up.
Yes, yes, and they have already survived so many obstacles. We feel this, you know, underweight is almost a minor, and not disrespecting it or disregarding it. It's just when you live there and you see the things they really rise up above, that is minor.